children's classic, the part of the Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, has been turned into a movie by the Disney folks. This is the first film in the Chronicles of Narnia, opening today in theaters nationwide. William Moseley, Anna Popplewell, Skandar Keynes, and Georgie Henley portray the saviors of the magical land of Narnia. And they are joining us now. It's nice to have all of you with us.
Hi.
How are you? You're the big brother?
I'm indeed the big brother. I don't know whether they would agree on that.
Did he really act like a big brother when you were making this?
Yeah, he sort of punched me around a bit sometimes.
And the little sister always gets picked on. Did you get picked on during all that? No, they left you.
I stuck up for her.
I
took care of her.
But I stuck up for you.
No, I
Georgie.
Now, it occurred to me, since the Chronicles of Narnia actually are 7 different books, one for each day of the week. There's actually a very Christian theme in all of this, and a very religious theme to all of this. But you don't see that much in the movie, I know. But I was thinking about the famous movie made recently, Lord of the Rings, when they actually filmed 3 films at once.
Yeah.
Now, there's more movies to be made of the Chronicles of Narnia. Did you film more than 1 movie at once, or did you just do...
No, I mean, this one was such a massive responsibility and accomplishment that we can only, hope that we'll get over this hill first and get a better vision of the other books from a higher point, actually.
Because by the time you make 7 movies, if that happens, you'll be all grown up.
George will be in college.
Yeah, I'll be 35, 3 kids.
So you'll be a grandfather by the time it's all over. Just to give people, if you haven't read the great C.S. Lewis series of books, you're out of London because of the Blitz and to avoid the bombs, and you're in a mansion, and there is this wonderful wardrobe which you go through into a sort of magical land. Here's a clip. Take a look.
It's a beaver.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
I ain't gonna smell it if that's what you want.
It's talking beaver.
Lucy Pevensey.
Yes? Who was the hanky I gave to Mr. Thomas?
Thomas. He got it to me just before they took him.
Is he alright?
Further in.
And there are many animals that you meet along the way in this land. You did, I suspect, most of this in front of a green screen, right?
I mean...
And not as much as you may think.
Yeah,
really?
Exactly. The DOP said to me, they only ever did it. Director of photography.
Cinematographer.
Oh, director of photography, okay.
He said it's always better to have the real thing, like the real background, and they only used green screen when they had no other option. Whether it was too rainy, it was too sunny, it was too this or that. They'd only ever do it if that was their only option.
But it must, as you're going through the movie, it must seem weird. I mean, you're meeting people who are half human and half animals and whatever. And
we had a very interesting lunch tent. You could be sitting next to a centaur on one side and a goblin on the other.
that's it. That would be in the cafeteria when you're having lunch, that there'd be all these people.
They'd have their heads sort of on their backs.
It would be really weird because, a minotaur in one of the White Witch's creatures would take off his head, his minotaur head, and steam would rise up off his head because they'd be really hot.
Yeah.
But they really wanted to make it work for us because it's hard for children to act for nothing at times.
Right.
And so they really tried to make it practical effects as well.
But when we did do scenes with Mr. Beaver, for instance, or the werewolf or Aslan, it was all down to our imagination. It just became a basic expectation that we were going to have to imagine that these creatures were here. I mean, I actually found it a bonus, if anything, just because I could have my individual perception of each of these characters in the scene with me. And it was only bizarre when we finished it when they turned into a tennis ball again, or be that bit of fluorescent tape. And seeing Andrew's vision of these characters is amazing, and I think he's done a really amazing job with them.
Yes, they're extraordinary books, and I kept thinking it would be difficult to translate, but so well done translating the movies. And I'm so glad that you pointed out that when the Minotaur took off his head, it was his character's head and not his real head. I would have been very worried if he'd taken off his real head. That really would have upset lunch terribly, I think. But I wish all 4 of you very well, and I hope there is more to come in this series. I'm sure there will be, as this I'm sure will be successful. And you can bring the 3 kids to the set. All the
Very much. Thank you. Thank you.
The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe opens in theaters today. The film, as we mentioned, a production of Walt Disney. And as you probably know, they own us, lock, stock, and barrel.